वेलकम टू दिस न्यू सेशन ऑन डिस्क्रिप्टिव राइटिंग। सो मेरे को काफ़ी अच्छा लगा कि लास्ट वीडियो में काफ़ी सारे अच्छे कमेंट्स आए हैं एंड सब ने ऑल अप्रिशिएट किया है मेरी वीडियो को। और उसके बाद मैंने जो है वहाँ पर मैंने कमेंट्स में ये भी लिख दिया था कि आप लोगों को डाउट्स हैं तो आप अपने मेंशन कर सकते हैं, मैं उनको आंसर करने की कोशिश करूँगा। तो मैंने ऑलमोस्ट ज़्यादातर डाउट्स को कमेंट्स में ही आंसर तो कर दिया है, लेकिन काफ़ी सारे डाउट्स जो हैं रिपीटेटिव थे। मैंने सोचा कि इस वीडियो एक छोटा सा वीडियो बना के उन सबको एड्रेस कर देते हैं। एंड ऑल्सो देयर वर मैनी कमेंट्स दैट दे वर अनेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वीडियो बिकॉज they don't know Hindi. So I'll try to cover this video in bilingual so that most of you can understand all the things that I'm going to mention here. My agenda for this session is obviously the common doubts that most of you have asked. Also, there were many comments about formal letter format and topics for essay. So let me try to address them also here. Okay, so let's start. So this comment was there whether we can use mouse to go back to the point which we want to delete. So I'll say yes, you should use mouse only. Don't use that keyboard left, right, up, down, because it will confuse you where your cursor is. So I'll suggest that you should use a mouse only. Don't use that keyboard here. Okay. Now, yes. So this question was asked whether we can use the physical keyboard, and the instructions normally say that it will lock your account, lock your exam and all those things. So don't worry, during exam, during your MCQ session you cannot use your keyboard, but just before your exam where you have to log in and you have to enter your password, you can use your keyboard there. I personally have never used that virtual keyboard there, so it always worked for me. Physical keyboard always worked for me, so you can also do that. Okay, now can we switch between letter and essay? Yes, you can. Just like any other section, like for example in reasoning you see that this is there are two buttons, next and previous. So similar buttons will be there in letter and essay also, and you will be provided with different space, writing space for all those. So once you click next, on the next page you will see it, essay question will be there, and a new blank page will be there for you to write. Okay, now this question was there. Okay, so let me address this. So many have asked that gap thing, that in normally in formal letter we see that we have to give gap between address and date. So don't worry about this, because no one is going to able to give the gap, so you don't have to be worried about this. You just have to write it one after other. Okay, so don't worry about this gap. You'll not be given any negative marking for this thing, because that is, their interface is like that where you cannot press double enter. So that is not your issue. That is not something that you should be worried about. Okay, so just don't waste your time on thinking about this, that whether I can give double enter or not. You cannot. Okay, and if, yeah, so I'll say just before the exam, just like at the start of the exam, for once you can try double enter also. Okay, because they might have updated the software, so it might work. So make sure you just check once whether double enter works or not. If it doesn't work, then obviously you cannot give the gap. If it works, yes, you can definitely give the gap between address and then subject, then date, all those things you can give the gap. But from last 2 years I have never seen that double enter working. So let's say, okay, you just make sure to check once, but I won't say most probably it won't work. Okay, let's move ahead. So yeah, so बड़ी नौटंकी है, कमेंट कंटेंट सोचें या टाइपिंग करें, स्पेस एंड एंटर का गेम खेलें। तो आप तो गेम मत खेलो, okay, you don't have to play this game because you already know how the space and enter will work. So focus on content and typing. Okay, so how can we change para since double enter does not work? So like, see, if you want to change a para here after is, you will press enter here, and this will be a new para starting from here. You cannot give a gap here, but you can change a paragraph by clicking on single enter. So changing para is not an issue, giving gap is not possible there. Okay, what if major key is not working? So let's say on your keyboard A is not working. What you will do, you will ask your invigilator to come to you and help you with that. You will tell him that my keyboard I have to write a descriptive paper and this key is not working, so please get it changed for me. They have to change. They cannot say that they cannot change, because you have to give a descriptive paper, and without a major key you'll not be able to write that essay or letter. So make sure to get it changed as soon as possible. लेटर एंड एस के बीच में स्विच कर सकते हैं, यस कर सकते हैं. और सबमिट वाला क्या, आई थिंक मुझे ठीक से याद नहीं है, आई डोंट रिमेंबर इट प्रॉपरली, बट आई थिंक देयर इज ऑप्शन फॉर सेव ऑल्सो. सो वट एवर इज देयर, जस्ट डोंट मिस इट. इफ यू सी द बटन सेव देयर, make sure you click on the save. Keep it in your mind that whatever the instructions will be there and whatever the buttons will be there, you will keep an eye on them. Okay, if the save button is there, make sure to click on save. And submit, I think it gets automatic submit. In instructions also it is mentioned that your descriptive paper will be submitted automatically, so that is not your issue. But save button is, I think it's there, so please make sure if it's there, make sure to press it. If it's not there, that is not your issue. Click on next and write the next essay or letter, whatever it is. Okay, so these doubts were there about word counts. So letter format, 150 words. So in SBI PO, instructions were not mentioning that how many words you have to write in essay. But normally, how many words you have to write in letter. Essay it was 200, but in letter it was not mentioned. So normally a formal letter is normally short, so I'll say 150 is a good bet. You can write like somewhere around 150, that won't be any harm. If it is mentioned 150 words, then it is very good. If it is mentioned 200 words, you have to write 200 words. So whatever it is mentioned, you have to write that. If it is not mentioned, I'll say 150 is a good number for letter format. देन IBPS में मेंस में 250 आता है या 200 वर्ड्स आता है. सो ये आप इंस्ट्रक्शंस देखिएगा, वहाँ पर इंस्ट्रक्शंस में जो भी होगा वही फॉलो करना है. ठीक है, पहले से हम जो प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, मेक श्योर टू प्रैक्टिस फॉर 250 वर्ड्स एट लीस्ट. ओके, सो इफ दे मेंशन 250 वर्ड्स, यू राइट 250 वर्ड्स. If they mention 200 words, you write 200 words. Okay, in SBI PO they asked for 200 words, and if IBPS PO they asked for 250, make sure to write 250. Don't like plus minus 10 is okay, not more than that or less than that. Then जो heading लिखेंगे उसका भी word count होगा. तो yes, so जैसे ये आपका interface है, तो आप यहाँ पे जो भी लिखेंगे, whatever you write here, let's say you write A and then enter, press enter, this word count will convert to one word. Okay, similarly when you write something like this, sir, okay, then this will become to 2. So whatever you write here, it will be counted. Even the numbers will be counted. So if you write 24, it will be counted as one word, so 3. So numbers, words, these bracket things, everything will be counted. So you don't have to think whether the format will be counted or not, because this is a computerized counting. So computer does not know whether you are writing in a body or whether you are writing in a format. So it will be counted. Everything that you write, every word that you write, it will be counted. Okay, whether it's even if it's a proper noun or not. Okay, so let's say you write a name here. Okay, so like Madan, so it will be also counted here. Okay, so don't think about these things. Now let's talk about this formal letter. So what I personally follow is this NCERT format. So NCERT is a standard book that is followed all in India. So this is the format that they have provided in the book that is published in 2019-20. This is the latest book that they have provided. So this is the standard format that they have provided. So you can see this is first is sender's address, then date, then receiver's address, then subject, colon, space, then this is dear, so this is salutation, then your body, then with regards, yours sincerely, and the name of the sender. So this is the official letter format that is provided by NCERT. So I personally follow all this only. Okay, so there are many formats that are there on websites and everywhere on YouTube also, but I'll say we should go with the NCERT format itself because it's the latest format. There is no changes, and this is like we can safely rely on this only. Okay, so it is very easy to remember. So what you have to do is sender's address, okay, then date, then receiver's address, and then subject, then colon should be there. Okay, if they are mentioning colon, so you should also mention colon there. Then dear sir or ma'am, whatever it is, so it should be madam. Okay, then see, so one of the comment was there where we have to use the comma, so this is where you have to use comma. See this comma. Okay, so after salutation you have to use comma, then this with regards you have to use comma, then use sincerely. So these three places we have to use comma. And in address you can see there's no comma here at the end of these addresses. Okay, in middle they have used comma, but here they are not using any comma, so we should also not use any comma there. Okay, so this is the complete format, and you can also, I'll provide the link, this link in the description. You can download this PDF and read yourself also. I'll say this is a perfect format that we can use without doubt, because this is the NCERT format and this is standard for all the exams in India. Right now, there was this comment that this person forgot to write subject, and then he had to like delete all the words, and then he had to like that I have explained how you can add another word or another line in any, if you forget this. But what you can do is, if you are like constantly forgetting all this format, or maybe during exam also, during because of exam pressure you might forget this format. So in exam you'll get 35 minutes for GA section, so let's say in 20 minutes you are done with your GA section, or maybe 25 minutes at max, you will take 25 minutes. It is also like very much, but ठीक है, 25 minutes आपने अपना GA complete कर लिया. तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, you can just take out your rough paper and write the format there. So what I do in exam, I write my address here, so like house 24, then Diamond Enclave. Okay, then Delhi 110091, whatever you can write. Then 22, it will be 22 January. Okay, so write it exactly like that, because you have enough time after GA. You can write all those things on your paper. Then address, so the whatever it is, whatever will come in the exam, manager or editor, we can write it like that. Okay, address of that. Then sorry, then subject, then dear sir or ma'am. Okay, then comma, then the body, then with regards. Okay, then comma, then yours sincerely. Okay, then PQRS. Okay, so yes, so don't write your real address here, don't write a real name also. It should be a pseudonym or any address that you can write, but don't write your real address and real name. And what this will help you is at the start of your descriptive you are going to write formal letter, so you don't have to think about address, you don't have to think about format. You can just look at the rough paper and directly type it from there. So at least this many words, so this is like somewhere around 20 words can be completed like within 1 minute, so that will be a good thing for you. So this is what I usually do during the GA section. After, at the end of GA section, I write all these things and then start typing during the descriptive, and I just copy paste all these things from the paper. Okay, so this will make sure that you don't forget these things, because forgetting any line is like a very big tedious task for you. You have to click on those scroll buttons, then go there, then start typing, then all those space thing interface is like very hectic for you already. So don't, so make sure to write all these things in advance, so that during typing you don't forget anything here. In the format, at least you get 100% marks. Okay, let's move on to topics for essays. So what I'll say is, first of all, there's no like predictions are never going to work, because we never know which topic will come in exam. So any prediction that I make or any other teacher make, it might come or might not come. So these are the topics that I have personally practiced during last 10 days, and also during the SBI PO mains also I practiced a few topics from here. So these are 15 topics, and why I have chosen these topics is because this is covering most of the topics that might come in the exam. let's say for example this F topic, that is social media uses and impact on Indian youth. So what if, in exam, let's say you come across a essay regarding social media, so this will cover up that you have, whenever you write the essay on this topic, you'll write something about social media, you'll write about something about its impact on Indian youth and Indian country economy, everything. So you can think in all those space. So this is why this topic is important. Then privatization of banks. So let's say instead of banks they give you PSU. Like for example, this time they gave PSU in SBIPO. Then its effect. So you can also, so let's say they ask you how privatization is going to affect Indian economy. All these things will be covered here. So this is also a good topic to cover. Then women empowerment. This is, so whatever topic that comes regarding women empowerment can be covered from this topic itself. So women inequality, the problems that they are facing, then what are the solutions, you'll write all those things here. So this will give you enough practice to write anything about women empowerment or any issues related to women. And then this thing, impact of online education. So this will cover uh, online education. This will also cover how, what are the advantage and disadvantage of online education. Then what are the challenges that students face during online education. So all these things will be covered here also. So then this pandemic is, this pandemic, obviously this is a hot topic and it will remain hot at least for this 1 year. So this COVID, how COVID is impacting economy, how it is impacting society, then what we are learning. So if we cover all these things, whatever topic will come related to COVID, we'll be able to cover that and write at least 200 to 50 words essay easily. Okay, then this trade dispute between US and China. So this is going on. So this, how this is going to be an opportunity for Indian tech companies. So we can write about startups here. Then how India is good at technology. Then Indian technical skills are very good. They are being used in other countries also. So all those things will be covered here. So this is also a very important topic. So this is the reason I have used all. I have like written essays on these topics so that I cover majorly all the topics that can be asked from in the exam. Okay, and these highlighted topics that I have highlighted in red, so these are the topics that I'll say you might need to read a little bit about these, then only you'll be able to write. So like national education policy, then cryptocurrency, you have to read about cryptocurrency first, then net carbon neutrality. So most of you might have covered all these things, but giving at least one reading about a few essays on carbon neutrality will definitely help you. Then effects of COVID on economy and society. So 3-4 points here, 3-4 points here, that is enough. So 3-4 impacts on economy, 3-4 impacts on society, that will help. Then electric vehicles is going, obviously a very hot topic. Then India's performance in Tokyo Olympics and how it can be improved in next Olympics, or they might ask in the next sporting events. Okay, so whatever they ask, you'll be able to cover that. Then data protection bill, that is also a very hot topic. So these topics will require you to read a little bit. Okay, so this topic, this topic, this topic, and this topic. So how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these 7 topics will require you to read a little bit, but it will be very easy to cover. And like we have like 5 to 6 days, 5 days at least. So you can read about these topics once and then write your essay. At least write 3-4 points regarding all these topics, so that you don't feel like for example in exam you see all the topics are hard, but one topic is there which is regarding cryptocurrency. Everyone has heard about them, but since you have not read anything about it, you will not be able to write any essay. So just read something about it so that in exam you will be able to write at least 200 to 250 words on this topic also. Okay, so these are the topics that we can practice in next 5 days. If we try to cover like 2 topics per day, it will be we can cover 12 topics at least, and that will give us enough confidence that we can write on any topic that will come in exam. It's not necessary that we have to mug up the essay. We have to build the capability to write essay. So once we are once you have written 12 to 15 topics, that is more than enough to give us that capability that we can write on any topic that comes. Okay, let's move ahead. So कुछ लोगों ने ये पूछा था कि अगर हेडिंग नहीं दिया टॉपिक्स ऐसे में तो चलेगा कि नहीं. सो लेट्स सी. थिंग इज कि वहाँ पे जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस होते हैं दे आर नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग दैट वेदर यू हैव टू राइट द हेडिंग ऑन essay और नॉट. सो एज पर फॉर्मेट ऑफ essay, ओके, फॉर्मेट क्या है कि सबसे पहले हेडिंग आना चाहिए essay का फॉर्मेट. देन यू हैव टू राइट अ पैराग्राफ विथ इंट्रोडक्शन. ठीक है, सो एक इंट्रो पैराग्राफ होता है, उसके बाद एक बॉडी पैराग्राफ होता है जो दो भी हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, इट कुड बी 2 बॉडी पैराग्राफ्स एंड फाइनली कंक्लूजन पैराग्राफ. तो जो फॉर्मेट है उसके हिसाब से हेडिंग तो होना चाहिए. तो अगर उन्होंने मेंशन नहीं किया है, दे हैव नॉट मेंशन वेदर यू हैव टू राइट हेडिंग और नॉट, आई विल से we should write heading. Okay, because that is not going to give you any disadvantage. So I personally write heading, and it's your call whether you want to write heading or not. Okay, then ऑप्शंस. यस, ऑप्शन तो मेंशन करनी है ना, आप जो भी ऑप्शन यूज़ करेंगे उसको मेंशन करिए ऊपर. ठीक है, एंड देन हेडलाइन जो है कैपिटल में होना चाहिए कि नहीं. आई डोंट थिंक कि रिक्वायरमेंट ऐसा कोई. ठीक है, आप पहला लेटर जो है उसको आप कैपिटल रखिए और बाकी आप स्मॉल लेटर में लिखिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है इसमें. ओके, यू कैन राइट द फर्स्ट लेटर कैपिटल एंड देयर इज नो इशू विद दैट. ओके, लेट्स मूव अहेड. ओके, सो यहाँ पे समवन हैज आस्क्ड कि हमने अगर मान लीजिए कि वी हैव लेफ्ट वन लाइन that now we have to add, like we have written till here and we have to add something here. So how we are going to do that? Okay, so let me explain this with by practically doing it. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, so let's say कि ये लाइन in the ancient times women were considered to be a weaker gender. Let's say मैं ये लाइन को नहीं लिख पाया था वहाँ पे. ठीक है, और मुझे अब इस लाइन को यहाँ पे इसके बीच में घुसाना है. ठीक है, सो हिस्ट्री और एज के बीच में मुझे ये लाइन एंटर करनी है. तो मैं क्या करूँगा यहाँ पर कि अपना जो कर्सर है, आई कीप माई कर्सर हियर एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ ए एंड देन स्टार्ट टाइपिंग. ओके, सो इंस्टेड ऑफ कीपिंग माई कर्सर हियर, आई कीप माई कर्सर एट द स्टार्ट ऑफ ए एंड देन आई type here. So in ancient times. Okay, so, and then whatever it is. Okay, so what this will help, and then so yes, so after writing all this I'll keep my full stop and then give a space. So this is how I can enter my another line at in between my passage. Okay. So this is a practical way that you can do. And यस, स्टार्टिंग वर्ड के स्टार्टिंग में ही करनी है ताकि इसमें कोई दिक्कत ना हो. वो डबल स्पेस वाला जो दिक्कत होती है, वी डोंट हैव टू फेस दैट इशू विद डबल स्पेस बिकॉज दैट विल ब्रिंग माई कर्सर एट द एंड. सो start whatever you have to add, write it from the first letter of the second word. Okay, now काफ़ी लोगों ने ये भी मेंशन किया है कि they have done this mistake and that mistake in SBI PO means. So कोई बात नहीं, आप उन सबको भूल जाइए. ठीक है, अब क्या कर सकते हैं, जो हो गया वो तो हो ही चुका है ना. उसमें आपको कितने मार्क्स मिलेंगे या नहीं मिलेंगे वो हम नहीं जानते हैं. ठीक है, सबसे पहली चीज़ तो मार्किंग सिस्टम किस तरह से रहता है, हाउ द मार्किंग सिस्टम वर्क्स, दैट आई पर्सनली डोंट नो. ओके, सो उसके बारे में सोचना भी नहीं है. हमें जो पता चल गया अब तक, हमने जो सीखा है अपनी गलतियों से, we'll try to keep that in mind and perform well in IBPS PO. Okay, so this is all from my side. I hope you have liked this video. Thank you very much. Have a great day and all the best for IBPS PO mains.